Welcome back, folks, to another little episode again of Whitebeard's Kitchen. What I'm going to do now is a honey, ginger and garlic glazed pork. First of all, I need to marinate the pork. So let's get cracking. What I have here is about 850 grams, 900 grams of just simple pork chops that I have, that I chopped up and made them very fine. So what I'm going to do is just fire these into a bowl. Excuse my hands, they are clean. Now, for the little marinade that I'm going to use here is dead simple. So what I'm going to do is eyeball all this, about a teaspoon of dark soy sauce, about 2 teaspoons of light soy sauce, about a teaspoon maybe of white pepper. That's just going to go in. I have cornflour here, so I'm going to say about 3 tablespoons of cornflour. I'm going to put in roughly about a teaspoon of sesame oil, and hey presto, this bottle is now near finished. And the only way to do this, unfortunately, is get the old hands in and mix it round and give us a good mix. Another, might add a wee bit more cornflour in. There we are, another tablespoon in. Get that mixed through. Try and get it coated as much as possible. I'll pop this into the fridge probably for about, I'm going to say roughly about 3/4 of an hour to an hour. Probably should be about 2 hours, but it is a bit late in the evening. You see me add more cornflour in. And it will be a bit sticky, that's what I'm looking. Right, a nice job this nut. Right, well that's it. There we are. Okay folks, so I have just made up the sauce. So what I have in here is roughly about 4 to 5 tablespoons of light soy sauce, a tablespoon of dark soy sauce, 5 tablespoons of oyster sauce, and because I'm using so much, because there's quite a wee bit of sauce to go around the pork, because we have quite a lot of pork, as well as 4 to 5 tablespoons of honey, is roughly about a half teaspoon of red chilli flakes, or people will call them red pepper, depends where you live, and also half a teaspoon of Chinese 5 spice. So I'm going to put that in, get that all in, and just give it an extra little bit of flavour, a bit more depth. Give that a little bit of a stir around as well, get it mixed through. Obviously when I go to coat the pork and put the sauce into the wok, I need to give it another wee bit of a stir, but just want to mix it through basically just at the moment. I'm going to attempt to deep fry the pork. Okay, there we are. That's that out of the way. Well folks, we're back. The chicken, I keep saying chicken, the pork has marinated. And what I did do was poured quite a lot of cornflour in, mixed it thoroughly, and hopefully when I fry this up, we'll get those wonderful wee craggy bits. Right folks, here we are, just going to stick in a little piece of a little skewer, just to make sure that the temperature is up. I want to do this probably, fry this, it'll be double fried at 150 degrees, and then once it's all fried, we'll put it back in again. So here we are, just ready to start the process and hopefully not scald oneself. So make sure all those pieces of pork are separate, which they are, coated in the flour. Just going to put this in ever so gently. Okay, put this to the one side. Just let it get in a moment. And obviously stir it around ever so gently. Just to make sure that it's not sticking. Oh, look what I have. So this evening I got a little surprise. I wanted a chef spoon, not that I want to be chefy. So my darling little wife walked in today put something onto the table, and this is what I got, which is marvellous, absolutely wonderful. Means then that when cooking normally, I won't scald bloody hell with myself. I thought I had pinched a thermometer belonging to me, but I have to get her to show me how to work the damn thing. So tonight I'm just going the old Chinese method of using any piece of wood, wooden chopstick, wooden skewer, end of a wooden spoon, to try and gauge the temperature. So kind of want this going to kind of just that kind of golden brown colour, just taking these little bits up, and maybe just any bits that might be stuck together, don't want that to happen. Just have to be very careful, and don't want to overcrowd the pan either, so which is probably going to be done in about 3 batches. But I'm not going to worry about getting a little bit cold when it's draining, because it will all go in together again. My little whiteys went by and give me a little squeeze. Yep. Certainly.
Such a good squeeze.
Oh yeah. Just when you're knocking about the fucking hot oil. And there's Amy couldn't show me how to work the thermometer, but now it's a bit late. Anyway. So I'm going to show you this first batch of the point of where I wanted that. I'm not going to bore you to death frying at all, but when it goes in for the second frying, if it's all hooked in, then we'll come back and do that. Probably not quite 5 minutes, but I can see it's golden brown. It is quite brown. So I'm going to take this out. I don't want it to frickin' burn. So try and scoop this out. Use my little chef spoon. And usually you would think you've been in a fight using this fucking stuff. So get that out onto the kitchen towel. That can kind of drain off. So I'm just going to put the next batch in. I'm going to do this by hand. Make sure it's well separated. It is. If you look at this bowl, you'd probably say it's an excessive amount of corn flour. It looks like it, but really to get this going, it's not. You want those nice craggly bits. So there we are. Second one in. I'll be back to show you the second fry. Right folks, well here we are. I've cranked the temperature up. I mean literally I've just tasted a wee bit of pork. And to be honest, it's not going to take that long to double fry this, to be honest. I don't want to turn, it is already quite dark brown. So in we go, really high heat, I'm going to say probably about 180 degrees, maybe it's a bit lower, very hard to judge. But I do get used to this, I've been doing it a wee while, so just going to muck this about a bit, and it can't stick now, thank God for that. So we'll say 2 minutes. Get this back out onto the kitchen paper again. And folks, this has probably been about, I'm going to say, maybe about a minute and a half. Don't want to do this anymore, don't want to get any darker. And that piece of pork was quite lean. You know, for all the length of time you'd seen for the first fry that I've been in. So, what I'm going to do now is turn this off. Probably been a minute and a half, possibly. Got really good glass. Another one round with a spider. You can see from a massive spider now I have. Should have bought a smaller one. I think I was working in a Chinese restaurant or an Asian type restaurant, Indian, Thai, whatever. There we are. That's it off. That's the heat off. Get this stuff out as quickly as possible. Hopefully you can see. This is really well done, nicely browned. Get it drained. I'll put this into a warm oven, not a hot oven obviously, try and keep it warm. And then I'll take you through the next process once I get rid of this hot oil. Right folks, so what I have, my turn wok on, slightly smoking a wee bit, just waiting now for the oil, just to give it a wee wallop of heat. And what I will do is crank it up. So, very briefly, I have about a tablespoon of oil, a tablespoon and a half. Maybe take actually a bit of oil out, to be honest. Keep on bloody thinking, moving from cooking maybe a stir fry to an Indian, and obviously the Indian, I need a bit more food, or a bit more oil. Right, so there we are. Don't want that smoking anymore. So what's going to go in here is really, turn it down now, is the garlic and ginger. I have about a teaspoon and a half of garlic. maybe 2 teaspoons of garlic, teaspoon and a half of ginger. Only frying these around for about 30 seconds. Don't normally, but I'm just going to add a wee bit of veg to this. So it's probably about 3/4 of a large red pepper. That's going to go in. And you can smell that ginger. You want that to burn. So put it down a wee bit. Right. Just get the pepper around a bit. For me, it's minded. You want this to burn, so in with the oil. And what I did do, in with the oil, in with the sauce. What I did do was I think I had about 4 tablespoons of honey. I put another 2 into it. So that's the sauce going in. Okay. I'm going to just add a wee tiny taste of water to the sauce. Wanted to bubble a wee bit. Yeah. I was near going to see that. I near did. Yep, I did. You're right. I was near going to lick a fucking bowl. A bowl when I'm out of your sight, so I was get rid of the bowl, give it a bit of a lick. Delicious. Very nice dish for myself. I'm trying to do this so that Amy, God help her, will eat tonight. Because last night I made a Korean dish. So what I want to do, I made a Korean dish. Not spicy for me. Maybe about the maximum my little wife could take. Charlie, I think, managed it. For me, it's like, holy fuck. I mean, wasn't spicy at all. I had to add in my own plate a teaspoon and a half, or a big tablespoon, rather, should say, of sambal. So what I'm doing actually with that sauce, back to it, stop digressing. I just want to reduce this down a wee bit, just let it thicken a bit, and then in will go the chicken. The rice is done, and then, my goodness gracious, fruit will be served. So you can see this bubbling away. I'll turn it down a tiny bit because the honey, I just want it sticking. You can reduce this down. You want to get to like a syrupy effect. I'm near getting there. I have quite a bit of pork, which you really only coat it. But they do like their sauce in this house. I have to be honest. I'm a bit partial to that myself at times, as you would have seen in previous recipes. And I think this is probably only the second kind of dish that I haven't cooked that, set aside the old Irish dish and a few desserts, and then a Kung Pao chicken. This was my second recipe when I started my little channel off. I want that to thicken a wee bit more. When it's bubbling, one thinks he deserves this. This is only the 3rd pint, by the way, and it's near. We're having dinner quite late. Holy shit, it's 20 past 10. So by the time it's out, it's going to be about 10:30. And I've been up cooking and farting about the day from about, I'm going to say 3 o'clock. Just give us another stir. Don't say burn it. Turn it down a wee bit, maybe. Hopefully, my little stepdaughter Amy will eat tonight. Go and help her. Just thin enough as it is. If she turns sideways, fucking hell, the reporter missing. Right, folks, now for the pork. This sauce is bubbling like hell. Just going to turn it down ever so slightly. It's well reduced now. So, hey presto, in with the pork. Okay. Right. So, as you can see, it's a lovely dark sauce. Sweet, no spice really, so only half a teaspoon of chili flakes. I probably put some over my plate because I will like a bit more spice than the rest. So guys, this is it finished. And just to go on the rice. So if I don't make a little photograph of the picture of what it's like on a plate, I'm sure you know, it's just going on the boiled rice. Rock on, Have a good weekend. I'm probably behind steam. Who cares? I'm really hungry and so is everybody else. See you soon. Bye for now.